All right, guys, so it's already been quite a day so far just trying to get started. So as you can tell, I've got my zero turn out and I've got my aerator hooked up, and I am trying to do a fall overseed renovation of our yard. Over the years, our yard has basically just died out, and we've actually had a drought for the past 2 years. We're in Virginia, had severe droughts. I'm sure you all know about it, been on the news and everything. But what's happened is, not only has the yard naturally died out, I just don't think it's really been seeded at all over the years. I mean, look at these patches. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. The other thing is, we are kind of hard on our yard. So like right here, we drive the golf cart through, getting in these gates over here. We walk through here a lot. But it's beyond that, guys. I mean, it should be a lot better than it is there. Look at this. Pretty much totally died out. Almost looks like a path, but it's really not. I mean, we kind of use it as one, but not really. Look at this over here. Almost totally gone. Down there, a septic field and all is, it's pretty good. Then over here on the back of the house where my workshop is, this area takes a beating too, just with driving things through here and all. But I mean, it's practically died out, dormant, weeds, a lot of plantain. So anyways, guys, I finally just said, you know what? I'm gonna renovate the yard. It might not be, this isn't a how-to, this is how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, so I'll show you kind of what we got here. We just got started, got about 10 minutes in, but I don't know if you can see all the little plugs. It's probably not quite as wet, you know, as it could be, and then therefore it's not going down and pulling as big of plugs out as would be ideal, but this is much better than nothing. I mean, it's doing pretty good. So that'll give a spot for my seed to drop in and a spot for water and nutrients to go down into. All right, guys, so our yard is about 2 acres, and I tell you what, I think one of the issues with this yard is, like I said, it's 40 years old. It's never really been overseeded by me in 10 years, and probably not before that. But I think a lot of it is this ground is just so compacted. I think from 40 years of mowing, I think from 40 years of having tractors drove over it, you know, we back trucks all around, backing trailers up and everything else. It's just so compacted. So aeration is probably something we should do way more than we do. I wanted to show you this piece right here. This is just in the nice little island piece of our yard here. Got a crepe myrtle down there. But look right here. I mean, no rhyme or reason to it really. But it is just, you know, a mixture of dead and dormant, I think. But the drought just really took a toll in this yard. And if you look, you can see what the aerator's doing. I just got done aerating. I got the whole yard done. What ended up happening was I got about half the yard done, and my wife came home from work. Like I said, today was Labor Day. She had to work. She came home from work. She actually mowed the yard. We mowed it very low, Probably not the exact recommended lowness for overseeding. I'm always nervous to do that. And then I finished up aerating the other half of the yard. So there's the backyard that we did. But over in here, we excavated this several years ago. We put a swale in coming down through here. And when we did that, it used to flood down here bad. Put a pipe under the driveway and everything. But anyways, this grass is a lot newer down here, and it's a lot better too. But I aerated all this, and then I aerated all the way down to the road. All right, so here it is, day number 2, evening number 2, I should say. 6 o'clock now. But I'm trying to do the next part of this project, which is use the lawn sweeper on the yard. But the idea is to get all this stuff up. I mean, it's a lot of it too. That way, the seed can actually make its way down to the dirt. Tell you what, it's amazing at how well these little residential lawn sweepers work. I was hoping for this to be a little bit of a quicker thing, sweeping the yard. And I think I'm on like 5 or 6 loads here, and I'm probably 2/3 done. And it's like 8 o'clock in the evening. And I tell you what, guys, this time of year, the days are getting shorter. So I've got to really, you know, step it up to get things done after work. I guess I'll come home from work tomorrow and do the last third of what we got. And tomorrow was gonna be the day that I wanted to seed, but I think it's gonna work out anyways because the rain they were calling for is now pushed back a day. So I've got like 2 days to seed now. All right, so I give y'all a little bit of an update. It's now 2 days later. Yesterday, I finished up that last third of the lawn sweeping, and I think I had 3 or 4 loads of that. I figured I would show y'all what I got going on over here, because now we're getting ready to start the fun part. This is my spreader. It's brand new. I've never used it. It's the biggest one they make, at least on the residential side of things. It's 185 pound, and it's the ATV one. The difference with the ATV one is it has an enclosed gearbox there. I had one before this, different brand, did not have an enclosed gearbox, and the gearbox, well, actually the axle snapped and the gearbox broke all in one go. It's pretty nice. It's got a plastic grate in there so it doesn't rust up with fertilizer. I tell you what, so here's the grass seed, and I got 4 bags, 4 50-pound bags, and I basically had to take a mortgage out to get it. But no, not really. It is expensive though. What I'm ending up doing is up around my house, I'm putting, this is very nice seed, our co-op, I don't know if they make it or mix it or what, but it's called Sun and Shade. And right here's what's in it. Several different types of tall fescue, Kentucky bluegrass, perennial ryegrass, creeping red fescue. There you go. But the thing is, that's really expensive. Kentucky 31 is not. So what I'm gonna do in these areas that I have that are not around the house, so like right here, we drive through this gate all the time, and we park trailers over here, and then all the way down past those buildings, all the way down out in there, I'm gonna put the Kentucky 31. I think I'm gonna actually start with the Kentucky 31 first because it is cheaper, and I'm gonna do the crappier spots in my yard first. That way, if this thing is using more rate than I think it's using or whatever, I can figure that out now with the cheaper seed. This Agri-Fab stuff, I don't know if you're aware, you know, I'm not really being a spokesperson for it, per se, but when I was looking at these spreaders, I saw that Agri-Fab, this thing's made in the US. So, I mean, maybe other ones are too, but you know, I thought that was pretty neat. And this thing holds a lot more than I thought. I mean, I knew I was getting the big one, but overall it doesn't look huge. But man, that's a whole 50-pound bag of seed, and I've still got 6 or 8 inches that I could go here. But I think what I'm gonna do, instead of adding more seed to it, I'm just gonna use this. That way I know that I have, you know, when I get done with this, I should be done with 50% of the area I'm using this Kentucky 31 in, because I have one more bag of it. All right, so one neat thing I figured out already was I was using this step-in post with these nubs on it to pull back on the handle, which works good. But I found a better way, and it was the easiest way. Basically, take your zero turn, spin it tight, then you can just reach back to it. First impressions with this spreader as I'm heading down to my next area to do, awesome. Love it so far. When you get into the bigger ones like this, they have a wider stance and bigger tires. And with an uneven yard, bumpy, you know, molehills, ruts, different things, you don't have to worry about this thing tipping over. Off to the good seed, and we will be rocking and rolling here. It'd be nice to get this done this evening. This is non-coated seed. Like I say, I've used this in the past, and I mean, I have no idea if it's lawn aficionado level, but it's way better level than what we need. So it should be good. Plus also, this is a sun and shade mix, and as you can tell, we have shade and then we have areas of sun. So I think that was kind of what was getting us on what was left of the grass we did have here. Was it was just dying out. I don't think it was the right kind of grass and all that. I'm on about 3, setting 3. And I might actually dial it back a bit, because I think this is a tick smaller than that Kentucky 31. So those chickens are just dying to eat my grass seed, I can tell. The Agri-Fab spreader, it was my first time using it. That thing did great. I mean, I don't have any complaints with that. I'm glad I bought basically the best one you can get, or the best one that I found you could get, because truthfully, as we all know, they're all made sort of cheap unless you get into super expensive ones. But this one seems good. It seems really good. I love that you can put a whole 50-pound bag of seed in it and still have quite a bit of room with it bouncing around and all that. I also really love how wide it is and the big tires, and it's stable. I don't know if you could tell, but I was running that thing on some pretty big side hills. Never once felt like it was gonna tip over. I'm basically done. As you can see, I got a yard roller here. I am gonna do this off camera tomorrow. The point of that is to get good seed to soil contact. I hope, guys, that this really does actually end up taking and working really well. It's part of the reason why I spent, well, basically what's going to end up being Monday through Friday working on this project. You know, I don't want to show yard. I'm not that kind of person. We drive on our yard, we drive tractors on the yard, all that kind of stuff. But we do need a yard. I mean, there's patches where there's no grass, right? We want to get the yard turned around and maybe just here and there focus a little bit more on it than we were. And maybe we'll have something pretty decent. With that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.